Everyone in this room is inspired by you. Who are you inspired by?
Well, Kanye West, obviously.
Political tensions reached a boiling point as Elon Musk, the provocative billionaire, launched a blistering attack on Vice President Kamala Harris. With his typical bluntness, Musk denounces Kamala Harris, branding her a dishonest, incompetent leader who is sabotaging the nation. Due to his influence, will Kamala's political career come to an end? The showdown between these titans of the political arena promises to be nothing short of explosive. Will Musk's fiery attack change the political scene, or will it spark a storm of controversy? Let us dive into the explosive showdown between Musk and Harris. Elon Musk, known for his relentless drive to challenge and disrupt the status quo, is stirring the pot once more, this time in a high-stakes showdown with Kamala Harris. What do you think will become Kamala's fate in the end? A political showdown. Kamala Harris asserted that there was validity in drawing comparisons between the recent comments made by former President Donald Trump regarding immigrants contaminating the nation's blood supply and those made by Adolf Hitler. She indicated that such rhetoric was designed to sow discord and noted the parallels that many had aptly drawn between Trump's language and that of Hitler during an interview with MSNBC's Lawrence O'Donnell. Harris elaborated on her rationale for supporting this comparison and expressed her belief that a potential second term for Donald Trump would be even more detrimental than his initial term in office. Nonetheless, Elon Musk disputed the validity of this claim. He admonished Kamala Harris for her remarks, alleging that she had made false statements regarding the position of former President Donald Trump on democracy. Responding to a tweet by Dion Joseph, in which Harris's shortcomings were outlined, including the border crisis and her track record in California, Dion asserted that she was more left-leaning than Joe Biden, casting doubts on her readiness to lead and implying that her political inclinations would have damaging consequences for the nation. Musk concurred with this assessment. Musk subsequently brought attention to a statement made by Kamala Harris, in which she asserted that Donald Trump intended to implement a nationwide abortion ban. This assertion was scrutinized by users of social media using a fact-checking tool known as Community Note on X, which elucidated that President Trump had expressly stated his opposition to endorsing a national abortion ban, citing sources. In reaction to this episode, Elon Musk shared a video featuring Kamala Harris and posted a tweet envisioning the potential consequences of her serving as an elected official for 4 years. The ongoing dispute between Musk and Kamala Harris is not a recent development. It originated in 2022 and has unfolded through various events for the subsequent 3 years. Kamala and Musk's career and personal choices have significantly fueled their conflict. To better understand the conflict, we need to have a full knowledge of their early lives and careers. Kamala Harris, early life and education. Kamala Devi Harris was born in Oakland, California on October 20, 1964, into a family that was both diverse and accomplished. Her mother, Shyamala Gopalan, migrated to the United States from India in 1958 and was recognized as a trailblazing biologist. Upon arriving in the U.S. as a young graduate student at the age of 19, Gopalan made significant contributions to the field of breast cancer research, particularly in her investigations of the progesterone receptor gene. Her research was instrumental in progressing the scientific community's comprehension of breast cancer. The father of Kamala Harris, Donald J. Harris, is a respected economist who emigrated from Jamaica to the United States in 1961. He had an illustrious academic career, which notably included a professorship at Stanford University. In 1966, the Harris family initiated a sequence of moves to different areas in the Midwest, as both of Kamala's parents secured academic positions at various universities. This time of continual relocation played a crucial role in shaping Kamala's childhood. By 1970, Kamala relocated to California with her mother and sister. This shift represented a pivotal period in Kamala's life, as she was immersed in a community of influential African-American intellectuals and advocates for civil rights who greatly influenced her perspective. The dissolution of her parents' marriage when she was 7 further compounded the difficulties she encountered. Kamala and her sister moved to Montreal, Quebec, with their mother when Kamala was 12 years old. Kamala completed her education by graduating from Westmount High School in 1981. Living in Canada exposed Kamala to different viewpoints and contributed to her strong academic background. After finishing high school, Kamala attended Vanier College in Montreal during the academic year 1981 to 1982. Her educational path then led her to Howard University in Washington, D.C., a historically black institution known for its challenging curriculum and lively atmosphere. At Howard, she earned her bachelor's degree in political science and economics in 1986. Her dedication to serving the public and demonstrating leadership abilities was apparent during her tenure at Howard, where she participated actively in multiple student groups. Upon completion of her bachelor's degree, Kamala enrolled in the University of California, Hastings College of the Law to pursue legal studies. Throughout her tenure at Hastings, she exhibited leadership qualities by serving as the president of the Black Law Students Association. In 1989, she obtained a Juris Doctor degree, symbolizing the culmination of her academic journey and the initiation of her professional endeavors. Kamala's early career. In 1990, Kamala Harris was selected as a deputy district attorney in Alameda County, California, where she was recognized for her prosecutorial abilities and potential for advancement. In 1994, while in a relationship with Speaker of the California Assembly Willie Brown, Harris was appointed by him to the State Unemployment Insurance Appeals Board and later to the California Medical Assistance Commission. In February 1998, San Francisco District Attorney Terrence Hallinan recruited Harris to serve as an assistant district attorney in his office. In this role, she was appointed as the head of the Career Criminal Division, overseeing a team of 5 attorneys and specializing in the prosecution of serious offenses such as homicide, burglary, robbery, and sexual assault, with a focus on repeat offenders. Additionally, she handled cases involving the implementation of the 3 Strikes Law. Subsequently, in August 2000, Harris transitioned to a position at San Francisco City Hall, where she worked under City Attorney Louise Wren. In that capacity, Harris was responsible for managing the Family and Children Services Division, handling cases related to child abuse and neglect. During her campaign for district attorney, her former employer Wren publicly endorsed Harris. In 2002, Harris entered the race for District Attorney of San Francisco, launching a robust campaign that set her apart from Hallinan by critiquing his track record. Harris emerged victorious in the election, securing 56% of the vote and making history as the first individual of color to be elected as District Attorney of San Francisco. She faced no opposition in her re-election bid for a second term in November 2007. During her first 6 months in office, Harris resolved 27 out of 74 pending homicide cases. She advocated for increased bail for defendants involved in gun-related crimes, asserting that lower bail amounts had historically facilitated criminal activity by outsiders in San Francisco. Harris was praised by SFPD officers for closing the loopholes that defendants had previously exploited. Throughout her campaign, Harris committed to never pursue the death penalty. This stance was upheld in the cases of Isaac Espinoza, a San Francisco Police Department officer who was fatally shot in 2004, and Edwin Ramos, an illegal immigrant and suspected MS-13 gang member accused of murdering a man and his 2 sons in 2009. Harris established a specialized hate crimes unit targeting hate crimes against LGBT youth in educational settings and advocated for AB 1160, known as the Gwen Araujo Justice for Victims Act. During her tenure as district attorney, Harris instituted an environmental crimes unit in 2005. She publicly endorsed San Francisco's sanctuary city policy, which refrains from investigating individuals' immigration status during criminal inquiries. In 2004, Harris established the San Francisco Re-Entry Division, which boasted a significantly lower recidivism rate among its 200 program graduates, at under 10%, in contrast to the 53% recidivism rate among drug offenders in California who returned to prison within 2 years of release. In 2006, as part of an effort to address the escalating rate of homicides in the city, Harris spearheaded a citywide campaign in San Francisco aimed at tackling truancy among at-risk elementary school children. Chronic truancy was identified as a critical public safety concern, with Harris highlighting the connection between dropouts, habitual truants, and individuals involved in criminal activities. In 2008, Harris took action by issuing citations to 6 parents whose children had been absent for a minimum of 50 school days, marking the first instance in San Francisco where adults were prosecuted for student truancy. For 3 years, Harris's office pursued legal action against a total of 7 parents for truancy-related offenses, although none of them were incarcerated. By April 2009, there was a notable decrease in the number of elementary school students classified as habitual or chronic truants, with figures dropping by 23% from 2008, and significantly lower than the numbers reported in 2007 and 2006. Kamala was the first female and multiracial vice president. After Joe Biden was elected as President of the United States in the 2020 election, Kamala Harris assumed the role of Vice President on January 20, 2021. She holds the distinction of being the first female Vice President of the United States, the highest-ranking female elected official in U.S. history, and the first African American and Asian American to hold the position. Kamala Harris is also the second person of color to serve as Vice President, with Charles Curtis being the first person of color to hold the post, serving under Herbert Hoover from 1929 to 1933. Additionally, Kamala Harris is the third individual with recognized non-European ancestry to attain one of the highest positions in the executive branch, following Curtis and former President Barack Obama. Stay tuned to discover the dramatic impact Elon Musk's actions will have, especially in his escalating conflict with Kamala Harris. Elon Musk's early life. Elon Reeve Musk was born on June 28, 1971, in Pretoria, which is the administrative capital of South Africa. He has ancestry originating from Britain and Pennsylvania Dutch. His mother, May, formerly Haldeman, is a model and dietitian who was born in Saskatchewan, Canada, and grew up in South Africa. His father, Elon Musk, is a South African electromechanical engineer, pilot, sailor, consultant, emerald dealer, and property developer. Additionally, Elon Musk was a part owner of a rental lodge situated at the Timbavati Private Nature Reserve. Elon Musk has a younger brother named Kimball and a younger sister named Tosca. Furthermore, he has 4 paternal half-siblings. During Elon Musk's childhood, his family possessed substantial wealth. Despite assertions made earlier by both Musk and his father, Errol, regarding Errol's ownership stake in a Zambian emerald mine, Errol later clarified in 2023 that he had agreed to receive a share of the emeralds produced at 3 smaller mines. Errol, who served as a member of the Pretoria City Council representing the anti-apartheid Progressive Party, has mentioned that his children also held a similar aversion to apartheid as their father. Elon Musk's maternal grandfather, Joshua N. Haldeman, was a Canadian-born American who embarked on pioneering trips to Africa and Australia with his family using a single-engine Belanca airplane. Haldeman passed away when Elon was a young child. Elon Musk has described his experiences attending a wilderness school known as Veldskool as resembling a paramilitary Lord of the Flies scenario, where bullying was viewed as a positive trait and children were instructed to engage in conflicts over limited resources. Following the divorce of his parents in 1980, Elon decided to primarily reside with his father. Subsequently, he came to regret this choice and experienced a rift in his relationship with his father. Elon's educational journey included attending Bryanston High School. During his time there, he was involved in an incident where a fellow student, along with his friends, violently assaulted him by throwing him down concrete steps, resulting in Elon being hospitalized due to the severity of his injuries. Upon his discharge from the hospital, Elon recounted being subjected to a barrage of insults and demeaning remarks from his father, who claimed he was worthless. In response, Elon's father, Errol, refuted these allegations of verbal abuse, citing the emotional turmoil the boy was experiencing due to the recent loss of his father to suicide and Elon's previous derogatory remarks towards him. In the aftermath of the assault, Elon was enrolled in a private school. Elon Musk demonstrated a keen interest in literature during his formative years with particular mention of The Lord of the Rings, the Foundation series, and The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy as contributing to his later success. His fascination with computing and video games began at the age of 10, as evidenced by his self-taught programming skills acquired from the Vice 20 user manual. By the time he reached 12 years old, Musk had already displayed entrepreneurial acumen by selling his game, Blaster, which was based on basic programming, to PC and Office Technology magazine for a sum of around $500. Elon Musk education. Musk completed his early education at Waterkloof House Preparatory School, Bryanston High School, and later at Pretoria Boys High School, from where he obtained his graduation certificate. Musk's academic performance was satisfactory yet not outstanding, as reflected in his marks of 61 in Afrikaans and a B in his senior math certification. Musk decided to apply for a Canadian passport, utilizing his mother's Canadian nationality, to facilitate his immigration to the United States. During the processing of his passport application, he briefly enrolled at the University of Pretoria for 5 months. In June 1989, Musk made his way to Canada and established contact with a distant relative in Saskatchewan. He engaged in various temporary positions, such as working on a farm and in a lumber mill. The following year, Musk enrolled at Queen's University, located in Kingston, Ontario. 2 years later, he switched to the University of Pennsylvania, a prestigious university in Philadelphia known for being part of the Ivy League. At this institution, he completed his studies and attained 2 undergraduate degrees, a Bachelor of Arts in Physics and a Bachelor of Science in Economics from the Wharton School. Despite Musk's assertion that he obtained these degrees in 1995, the University of Pennsylvania did not officially confer them until 1997. Musk purportedly organized sizable paid gatherings at his residence to finance his education, and also crafted a business proposal for a digital book scanning service that mimicked the functionality of Google Books. In 1994, Musk completed 2 internships in Silicon Valley, one at an energy storage startup called Pinnacle Research Institute, where he focused on research related to electrolytic ultracapacitors for energy storage, and another at Rocket Science Games, a startup based in Palo Alto. Musk applied and was accepted to a graduate program in materials science at Stanford University in 1995, ultimately deciding not to attend. Instead, Musk opted to participate in the burgeoning internet industry, seeking employment at Netscape. However, he did not receive a response to his application. Elon Musk's decision to purchase Twitter is widely regarded as the catalyst for the brewing conflict with Kamala Harris. But what may have driven Elon to make this bold move? Elon Musk purchases Twitter. Musk expressed his interest in acquiring Twitter as early as 2017 and had raised concerns about the platform's dedication to upholding freedom of speech. Moreover, his former spouse Tallulah Riley had encouraged him to make a bid for Twitter to combat what she referred to as wokeism. Beginning in January 2022, Musk began acquiring shares of Twitter, eventually amassing a 9.2% ownership stake by April, thereby becoming the largest shareholder. Following the public disclosure of his significant ownership stake, Twitter's shares experienced their most substantial intraday price surge since the company's initial public offering in 2013. On April 4th, Musk reached an agreement that would grant him a position on Twitter's board of directors while restricting his ownership to no more than 14.9% of the company. Nevertheless, on April 13th, Musk unveiled a $43 billion proposal to purchase Twitter, initiating a takeover bid at $54.20 per share to acquire 100% of the company's stock. In response, Twitter's board implemented a poison pill shareholder rights plan intended to raise the cost for any individual investor seeking to hold more than 15% of the company without board authorization. Nonetheless, by the conclusion of the month, Musk had completed his acquisition for approximately $44 billion, utilizing roughly $12.5 billion in loans leveraged against his Tesla stock and $21 billion in equity financing. The day after the announcement of the deal, Tesla's market value dropped by more than $100 billion. In response to the deal, Musk criticized Twitter executive Vijaya Gadde's policies on his Twitter account, reaching an audience of 86 million followers, some of whom subsequently engaged in sexist and racist harassment towards her. 1 month after the initial announcement, Musk revealed that the proposed acquisition was halted due to a report indicating that 5% of Twitter's daily active users were spam accounts. Despite initially reiterating his intention to proceed with the acquisition, Musk later notified Twitter in July of his decision to terminate the deal. In response, Twitter's board of directors stated their commitment to enforcing the original agreement with Musk. Twitter filed a lawsuit against Musk in the Chancery Court of Delaware on July 12, 2022, accusing him of breaching a legally binding agreement to purchase the company. In October 2022, Musk changed his position once again, proposing to acquire Twitter for $54.20 per share. The acquisition was officially finalized on October 27, 2022. Immediately following the merger, Musk terminated multiple high-ranking Twitter officials, which included CEO Parag Agrawal. Musk assumed the position of CEO himself. He implemented a monthly subscription fee of $7.99 for a blue check and carried out substantial layoffs within the organization. Musk reduced the level of content moderation, which involved the reinstatement of accounts such as the Babylon Bee. The Southern Poverty Law Center observed that Twitter had verified numerous extremist individuals. Following Musk's assumption of control, instances of hate speech rose on the platform. In December 2022, Musk publicly disclosed confidential documents concerning Twitter's handling of the Hunter Biden laptop controversy in the months leading up to the 2020 presidential election. After this disclosure, journalists Matt Taibbi, Bari Weiss, Michael Schellenberger, and other individuals shared their analyses of the internal documents on Twitter, collectively dubbed the Twitter Files. The United States House Committee on the Judiciary convened hearings specifically about the Twitter Files on March 9, 2023, during which both Taibbi and Schellenberger provided their testimonies. In the latter months of 2022, Elon Musk committed to resign from his position as CEO following the results of a Twitter poll he conducted, which indicated a preference among the majority of users for him to do so. Approximately 5 months thereafter, Musk formally relinquished his CEO title and appointed Linda Yaccarino, a former NBC Universal executive, as his successor while assuming the roles of Executive Chairman and Chief Technology Officer. On November 20, 2023, X initiated legal action in a U.S. district court in Texas, alleging that Media Matters engaged in manipulation of the X platform. This manipulation involved the use of accounts that followed prominent brands and utilized a strategy of continuously scrolling and refreshing the feed until ads were displayed alongside extremist content. Elon Musk's management style. Musk is often referred to as a micromanager and has referred to himself as a nano-manager. According to the New York Times, his management style is characterized as absolutist. Musk does not adhere to traditional business planning methods. Instead, he has compelled his employees to adopt the company's unique terminology and embarked on ambitious, risky, and expensive ventures despite advice to the contrary, such as the removal of front-facing radar from Tesla Autopilot. His insistence on vertical integration has led his companies to bring a majority of production in-house. While this approach has proven cost-effective for SpaceX's rockets, it has caused numerous functionality issues with Tesla's internal corporate software as of 2018. Musk's management style towards his employees, whom he communicates with directly via mass emails, has been described as employing a strategy of reward and punishment, where he acknowledges and incentivizes those who provide constructive feedback, but is also known to abruptly threaten, use profanity, and terminate employees. Musk has stated his expectation for employees to work lengthy hours, sometimes up to 80 hours per week. Additionally, he implements stringent non-disclosure agreements for new hires and tends to conduct mass layoffs, as seen during the challenging production phase of the Model 3 in 2018. In 2022, Musk announced intentions to reduce Tesla's workforce by 10%, citing economic concerns. During the same period, he discontinued remote work options at SpaceX and Tesla and issued warnings of termination for employees not fulfilling a 40-hour workweek in the office. Subsequently, Musk initiated a layoff of over 10% of Tesla's employees in early 2024. Some individuals have lauded Musk's leadership, attributing Tesla's success and his other projects to it. However, others have criticized him, viewing him as insensitive and his management choices as indicative of a lack of empathy. Musk has been described in the 2021 book Power Play as reprimanding employees. According to the Wall Street Journal, Musk received backlash from engineers for insisting on labeling his vehicles as self-driving, with concerns raised about customer safety and resulting in resignations among some staff members. The origin of the Musk-Harris clash. In 2022, a high-profile dispute emerged between Elon Musk and Kamala Harris concerning issues related to free speech. The conflict intensified following Musk's announcement on April 14, 2022, regarding his intention to acquire Twitter. Subsequently, several prominent figures in the media industry, including Harris, began departing from the platform or publicly declared their intention to do so. Harris, a notable political figure, voiced her disapproval of Musk's acquisition of Twitter. She specifically criticized his perceived disorderly management style following his assumption of the role of CEO of the platform. Furthermore, she expressed apprehension regarding the potential adverse impact that the platform's potential collapse could have on both its employees and users. Harris criticized Musk's management of key events and policy choices. She highlighted that despite evident issues like inflation and disruptions in the supply chain, media organizations commended the Biden administration for its handling of economic matters. Harris further critiqued the media for insufficiently covering her responsibilities and impact, insinuating that they had been lenient towards her as compared to previous office holders. October 2022, Musk made public remarks expressing disapproval of Harris for her statements regarding the disaster assistance policy of the Biden administration that were made during a discussion at the Democratic National Committee's Women's Leadership Forum. Harris highlighted the importance of directing climate resilience resources to minority communities to promote equality, contending that disadvantaged communities, particularly those of lower income and color, bore a disproportionate burden of the impacts of extreme conditions and problems that were not within their control. In response, Musk put forth the argument that resources should be distributed according to the most pressing needs rather than being influenced by considerations such as race or other factors. In the subsequent years, the animosity between Musk and Harris heightened. By 2023, Musk condemned the media for what he perceived as biased coverage favoring Harris and President Biden. He asserted that journalists had prioritized negative narratives about Republicans over accurate depiction of U.S. realities, resulting in a distorted public perception of the country's challenges. Musk's social media war against Harris and the Democrats. Musk escalated his engagement on social media platforms such as Twitter to directly communicate with the public and circumvent traditional media channels. He accused mainstream media of offering an excessively positive portrayal of the Biden administration while neglecting or minimizing critical issues, contending that this partiality eroded public trust in the media and distorted comprehension of the administration's policies. In 2024, tensions heightened when Musk openly expressed his disdain for Kamala Harris and ridiculed her. Additionally, he ridiculed President Biden for an error made during a press briefing in which he mistakenly referred to Harris as Vice President Trump. Through social media, Musk voiced his disapproval of Harris's economic and technological policies, accusing her of obstructing the growth of the tech industry and enforcing unnecessary regulations that he believed impeded advancement. Elon Musk expressed strong disapproval of Kamala Harris's stance on climate change and renewable energy, contending that her proposals were impractical and overly stringent, overlooking the operational difficulties encountered by corporations such as Tesla. Following President Joe Biden's decision not to seek re-election, the Democratic Party encountered a unique scenario in contemporary presidential campaigns. requiring the nomination of a new candidate without the customary primaries and caucuses. Vice President Kamala Harris was engaged in telephone conversations on a Sunday, including reaching out to Congressional Hispanic Caucus Chair Nanette Barragán. It was reported by a source that Harris's team was also contacting senators. Another source revealed that Harris communicated her determination to seek the nomination and solicited Barragán's support. In response, Barragán affirmed her unwavering support for the vice president. Before this interaction, Barragán had commended President Biden's achievements after he announced his withdrawal from the election, expressing appreciation for his collaboration with Harris in advancing and uplifting Latino communities throughout the United States. Elon Musk responded to the circumstances by engaging with a post by Kino the Great, in which Musk asserted that through the influence of the Democratic elite, corporate media, and billionaire benefactors, the candidate selected by Democratic primary voters was coerced to withdraw from the race due to low polling numbers. Musk implied that the actions of the Democrats constituted a subversion of democratic principles in their pursuit of political dominance. He further mentioned that it was a commonly accepted notion in Washington, D.C., that influential figures were selecting a new candidate with a greater potential for public manipulation out of apprehension towards Trump, who was perceived as not being controllable like a puppet. In response to Biden's announcement, Musk retweeted a message from Vivek Ramaswamy, emphasizing that they were not contesting a particular candidate, but rather challenging the existing system. Musk then made a statement on social media, asserting his vision for America to prioritize individual liberty and meritocracy, previously associated with the Democratic Party, but according to him, currently represented by the Republican Party. Furthermore, Musk remarked that his acquaintances, notably Democratic supporters from the San Francisco Bay Area, were showing enthusiasm for Trump, as evidenced by his recent endorsement of the former president. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.